Hello, this is a look at the LEGO Ninjago J and Nia's Race Car EVO set. This set comes with the car, 4 minifigures, and an unexpectedly large helicopter for the bad guys. I mean, look at this thing. Relative to the size of a random minifigure, that's excessive. This whole thing is only intended to hold a single figure. That's it. They easily could have made this significantly smaller and it still would have done its job play-wise, but I appreciate all the extra buildup of it, and I especially appreciate the shaping of the canopy. Obviously, this thing is very, very, very heavily inspired by a certain classic design of helicopter, most famous in the TV show MASH, also seen in Batman, but it works though. It totally works. It's an unconventional color scheme with the teal and the orange against one another. There's nothing action feature wise here, nothing that actually shoots. You can spin up the rotors. The main rotor is nice and large. The diameter is great. It actually builds up some momentum and will continue spinning for a while if you get it at a decent speed. It feels good. The blades are long, large action figure swords in gunmetal gray. The only thing that's clearly missing here is some sort of counter or contra rotation mechanism. There's no tail rotor back here, no suggestion of jet exhaust or anything like that, for a no tail rotor setup, and obviously doesn't have contra rotating dual sets of main rotors, but other than that, this is quite nice. The build is good, has some interesting techniques. This is gunmetal gray here as well. This is a sticker, but other than that, everything is just simply built up, and the front end of it uses the newer small mech front end piece to get into the canopy. Just open the side. That's nice. It feels good to me. This really could have used, I feel, a spring-loaded shooter or two built into it as it is. You can pull off these as weapons. Nice to get the orange color for the katanas, 4 of them. This is a trans bright green color used on the floats or skids. Yeah, it's cool. Again, it just seems excessive for what it is. Then again, so does the car, huh? I mean, this at least does hold 2 people in it, and it does have some action features. So I think this one's a little bit more reasonable, a little bit more reasonably sized. You could say it's like an 8 stud wide build plus. It's like a modern Speed Champions car. Maybe this is the size that we'll have for Speed Champions car. Again, bringing in a random minifig for Speed Champions cars in like another 2 years or so, since we went from 6 wide to 8 wide, and the 8 wide's looking pretty dang huge for the size of minifigs. This might be the next step. This is a little bit all over the place to me, design-wise. Some of the stuff shaping from the side isn't that great. Feels a lot like it takes inspiration from the Digital Empire, season. Just a lot of the design notes, and J obviously for this in between this core season here, or not real actual season, but the core series is using the cool yellow or light yellow, pale yellow as its accent color, which is just different. This does have a banner on the back, and as usual, you can take that off. That is a printed piece up there. You can take that off and add it to the Dojo Temple as you upgrade your stuff if you are buying all of the things. And this up here, which gives you the wing to go with the rear wing to go with the front wing, to balance it off, is its own thing. It's, as a matter of fact, an entire flyer for Nia. Now, I think what makes the most sense for this in use would be for her to hop up on top of it and take off like this, and then convert to glider flight. So it can work this way, where she can be seeing down below. They show it like this on the box. The intent is for it to be like a glider like this, but then these aerodynamic surfaces look like they're kind of reversed to me. And I mean, this look works, and then you can use those as cutters as weapons, but there's also always the option of just having her be on top and you just fly it around like this, which, I don't know, it kind of works to me. You can also just use it as a glider. So if she's standing, it could be in any place there, and you could also have, weapons in hand, or you could even have two figures up here at the same time. Take that off, the card does not look as good. It starts to feel very, very much like a drift, like a privateer drift Corvette to me personally. Almost like, or maybe like I'm thinking C6, C7 Corvette. But then I also kind of feel a little bit of C8 Corvette converted to front engine, if such a thing happened, which it shouldn't. This little platform back here can also be adjusted in angle if you want. So you could use that as the platform for launching this. So you can angle it off first before you launch it off, or you could have a person sitting back there. And then as you come up here to the front, you've got a couple of stud or tile shooters, which can angle out like so. And that's an effective enough design. They don't really get hidden away fully down there. You can use these katanas if you want to. This whole canopy is angled back a little bit. There is a little bit of gap under there, but it is angled down, which makes it look a little bit different and interesting. And all of this will open up to give you access to the interior with room, again, seating for two, just using the Modern Speed Champions base under there for the main chassis and all. And yeah, it works, and it rolls just fine because it's got plenty of mass, plenty of weight. So once you get it going, it's going to continue to go. Overall, I think it's a pretty effective toy. This is just for the angle; doesn't really do anything. But just design-wise, visually, it's a little bit garbled. Here are the EVO forms of Jay and Nia. I've shown these in other reviews up to this point, so I'm not going to spend too much extra time going through them again. But if this is the only or first EVO series review of mine that you've seen, I do want you to at least get an idea for what they look like all around, and also see the faces, both versions of faces. So no surprise there. But this one does also come with at least one hairpiece, and it's the one that goes with Jay. None for Nia, though, not in this set. These bad guys are a Boa Destructor on the left and Cobra Mechanic on the right. The Boa Destructor is intended to be the pilot of the helicopter. You'd have to remove some stuff, I think, to get the Cobra Mechanic to comfortably fit into the helicopter. But one thing that you can do with this one is swap the two arms that have the flame elements around between each other so the flames face down, and then it looks like it has a rocket pack. So that can also turn into a flyer. I think both of these are pretty decently done, and it's always nice to get both versions of the color swap for the head. I personally prefer this, but I like all of the accessories for the one on the right. It's never uncommon for Ninjago sets to have a bunch of weapons left over, no exception here. And let me show you the sticker sheet as well. Most of those stickers obviously went onto the car. Now I paid $50 US for this, 50. Honestly, I feel like that's too much for the amount of stuff here, for the amount of play value here. Keep in mind, this is a 7+ set. So I really think it was a poor decision to put so much emphasis into building up a nice helicopter here that ultimately just holds one person, and that's it. That's it. It doesn't even shoot anything, doesn't drop a bomb, doesn't carry any cargo. It just holds one person and looks really cool. I think that for a 7+ set, less emphasis should have been placed upon impressing older fans. More emphasis should have been placed on play value. I think the helicopter should have been much smaller with far fewer pieces, and then they should have included another minifig or two, and or a different vehicle, an additional vehicle, like a land vehicle as well, or something capturable, just a small structure or something destructible for the ground, something to allow you to get more hands-on and do more things here. Again, for that 7+ age range that they're going for. If this was trying to be like a 9+, 10+, older fan targeted thing, then I get it. But for this age range, no, I think this misses the mark on play value and value on the whole price. I would like to see this sold at $40 tops, which is, it's a decent discount to ask for. What is that? 20% off? Yeah, that I would feel much more comfortable about that. As it is, this feels like a pretty respectable set. Has some questionable visual design decisions. Also, I'm not really liking, what is it? Is it the front wheel? I think it's the front wheels here that bug me more than the rear. I think if the fronts were done with a wheel insert that looked more like this, less spokey, probably would have felt better to me. The audacity of this, I don't have a problem with. You know, its size and its craziness and everything, but there's some things that are just a little bit off. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think about it, and if you think that I'm wrong, and this is actually worth $50. Curious to hear your opinions, and I'll talk to you again soon.